Rekieta did another appeal.
It's not. I'm sure it went well, right?
Oh, yeah. Just like everything else in this case, it went real well for Rekieta. Now, according to Sean, potentially criminal, and Sean told us that he would join the show to do a breakdown for us when his show ended. But Sean told us that Rekieta's lawyers fucked up really, really bad. And I don't really know exactly how badly they fucked up because I'm not Sean. But they fucked up so badly filing this appeal, this motion, that the state didn't even respond to it. The state said, we rest. They just rested because apparently the motion on the face of it just defeated itself. So they didn't even feel the need to even draft like a one-pager up that said, Your Honor, we think this is nonsense. We file for the appeal to be dismissed. They didn't even need to do that. It was just defeated on the face of it. So let's have a look.
So
Rekieta denied.
All right,
denied again.
Here we go. Make sure everything is good.
So here we have this document from the court,
bro.
I love in the top right-hand corner. It's the filed watermark.
I thought it said felted for a second.
I know.
I was like,
may as well just say felted up at the top. May as well just say denied. So petition based on the file, record, and proceedings, and for the following reasons. Petitioner Nicholas Robert Rekieta is charged with second-degree controlled substance crime, unlawful possession of a firearm, and child endangerment.
Whoa.
So he's still facing that child endangerment charge despite all of his best efforts to have it thrown out. Based on evidence seized after a search warrant was executed at his residence, he moved to suppress the evidence and dismiss the charges, and he requested an evidentiary hearing under Franks v. Delaware to investigate whether the search warrant application contained material misrepresentation. The district court denied petitioner's motion for a Franks hearing. So already on just page 1, we hear of the first denial. Denied. Sorry, there'll be no Franks hearing for you, Rekieta. Suffer. Denied.
How many appeals? How many appeals does
this? We're on like the third fucking appeal, like at least. Petitioner seeks discretionary review of the district court's order denying his motion for a Franks evidentiary hearing. Petitioner argues the court should grant discretionary review in the interests of justice. In the interests of justice. The true justice would be to throw Rekieta under the jail. The true justice would be for Rekieta to fucking face the wall. That would be what the interests of justice truly are. Because the Franks here issue is important and doubtful, and resolution of the issue would obviate the need for further proceedings. The state has not filed a response. The state didn't even bother to file a response because the motion was that bad. How bad could it possibly be? We need Sean. We need Sean to break it down. Like, how bad? Like, the state's like, we don't even need to do anything. Criminal
he
defendants.
Would come on, but he can't right now. He's busy.
So it says going on, criminal defendants generally do not have a right to appeal until final judgment has been entered. We see here a bunch of references.
Okay.
But the court may allow an appeal from an order not otherwise appealable in the interests of justice. Mm-hmm. The Minnesota Rules of Civil Appellate Procedure governs the procedure for appeal. In determining whether to grant discretionary review, this court considers multiple factors, including whether the ruling is questionable or involves an unsettled area of the law. Well, obviously the ruling was not questionable. It was righteous as fuck.
Well,
and this isn't an unsettled area of the law. They deal with a lot of drug addict bumps in the state of Minnesota.
The rare,
okay?
the rare drug bust.
It's like the Star Trek of fucking the law. We're seeking out new areas of litigation. The court considers multiple factors. The appeal is deferred until the underlying case has been decided, is usually what happens. A petitioner must show a compelling reason for this court to grant discretionary review of a non-stoppable order. I'm guessing they thought a compelling reason was that the Kiwi Farms was A-log. I imagine they're like, Your Honor, there's a really compelling reason. The Kino Casino is making fun of the Baldo. Josh Moon is dunking on his dirty co-core mistress. Like, I wouldn't be surprised based on the fact the state drafted no response. Didn't even bother to argue against it. They're like, well, let's just see what you come up with. They knew it was cooked. All right, let's go to the last page where we're going to hear about the denial.
Okay. There we go.
The latest denial. However, this court generally does not grant petition for discretionary review of pretrial hearings because the defendant might utilize the procedure which permits expedited review of a pretrial ruling that is dispositive or would make a contested trial unnecessary. Basically, at the end of the day, the petitioner has not otherwise shown a compelling reason for this court to extend its discretionary appellate jurisdiction when the pretrial issues are fully reviewable in an appeal from my final judgment. It is denied. It is denied again. Denied again.
So a double denial.
Buddy. Basically, it's another double denial. Rekieta just totally felt it. So now we're at the final step of the process. Rekieta has exhausted all appeal motions. He's exhausted the Frank's bullshit, everything. At this point, coming Tuesday, Rekieta must plead guilty or innocent. There are no more extensions.
Woo!
There are no more appeals. There's no more bullshit.
Body cam.
This coming Tuesday, Rekieta must plead. Will he plead guilty and give us the body cam footage? Because remember, the moment Rekieta pleads guilty, the body cam footage is unsealed.
What?
It could be next Tuesday
Woo!
that we have the Baldo cam, that we have
Or
the
what if he
footage
does
of
not
the
guilty?
Filthy, dirty if he pleads not guilty,
Yeah.
then what that means is that he might actually go to prison, for one. We're going to go through the whole process. He pretty much has no chance to escape jail if he pleads not guilty. And as for the body cam, the moment it's introduced into evidence in the trial, it will be publicly available.
Okay.
So we will get it anyway. The
Beauty.
only way
It will take a while,
that
though.
Rekieta can have the body cam footage excluded at this point is to plead not guilty, risking his freedom, and then win a hearing to have the tape excluded from evidence, which isn't going to happen. He's not going to successfully have the tape removed from evidence because he couldn't even have the warrant be challenged and removed. So it's going to happen. We are going to get the footage.
Let's fucking go.
Yes. Let's
Beauty.
go!
Beauty.
So that's the big update in the Rekieta situation.
Oh, no.
But we also have news from Camelot.
Oh, shit.
Here from there under, Camelot brings forth a proclamation. Camelot hereby proclaims that Nicholas Robert Rekieta is broke. He's poor. He's poor. He's poor. Which is so fucking Kino to hear. That Rekieta is poor. That he's struggling financially. That the almighty Latu Pope, who wouldn't read a super chat for under $20, no, it's $20 minimum, is now a brokey.
That was
what
fucked,
a
by the
piece
way.
of
Remember
shit.
that? And then finally,
He's poor. He's poor. Total Baldo bankruptcy inbound.
So, what made Camelot fully flip? Like, when was that? Was that last month?
I don't know.
It was whatever.
He's basically been a flip-flopper from the beginning, where he pretends like he's Rekieta's best friend, and then reveals Rekieta's spending like 40 grand a month on cocaine. Or what was it? Wasn't it 20 grand
20
a month?
grand a
He
month.
said? Something crazy
You could only
like
dream.
that.
You could only dream of that much Scarface levels.
Ron Coomer goes, he hasn't flipped. He's just retarded.
Oh,
there you go. Nailed
okay,
it.
okay. All right, here we go.
But they look nice.
This
LOL.
quality.
Nick's own videos plus his pastor turned him in. Look at the warrant. Yeah, I already know about this. If he truly has family.
I love how he just agrees with that, even though that goes against the Baldo Pope's official narrative on all of this, that it had nothing to do with the pastor and Nick's own videos and Nick's family and Kayla's sister-in-law. Camelot's off the reservation.
LOL. Nick's own videos plus his pastor turned him in. Look at the
Yeah, it's like an old 8-track audio, by the way. Like, what is
what
this?
sort of audio is this?
warrant. Yeah, I already know about this.
CB
He has
radio?
money. He should get off the internet and stop blaming others. Okay. I don't think his money situation is that good.
Go! Oh, let's go, Rekieta Paul! Hey, Paul! You smell that? It's smelling pretty broke in the Baldo bunker.
Is he streaming through an intercom?
Now, Camelot actually is the one that's trusted to review Rekieta's bank statements every week or so.
Yeah.
So he would know firsthand exactly how poor Rekieta really is. He really thought about it for like a good, I'd say 5 to 10 seconds. He sat there in silence. He's like, do I deliver this felt onto Rekieta? And he's like, yes, I will. Yes, I think I will testify that he's poor. We find the defendant poor. We find the defendant broke. We find the defendant unable to pay his bills. He can't even pay Montegraph the $300. Remember when he paid that fucking $20,000 for the portrait of Johnny Depp?
Buddy, that
he
was
wished he
money
didn't
laundering.
spend that.
That was the money laundering.
So, bro, shall we send it off? Brokey alert!
Brokey alert!
Brokey alert! And the only way I'm now going to come off that Rekieta is a brokey is if he pays Monty what he owes. Nick Rekieta owes Montegraph $300 via court judgment, and he's still yet to pay. And the reason why is because he broke.
Brokey?
It's
Brokey?
tough.
But wait,
Broketa, it's time to pay up, Broketa.
let's re-see that. Let's
He
hear
goes,
it again.
Who the fuck is Steve?
Okay. I don't think his money situation is that good.
It's tough.
Here's one of the. That's one.
That's just number one.
But yeah, you're right. You're right about the first part.
Felton.
Felton, buddy. Felton, buddy. Oh, no. All right, now we're at the Melton Discord
This
leaks,
is wild.
It's wild. This basically proves and is a confession of all of their crimes. And even Melton, by the end of this, admits that he confessed to crimes and admitted to committing crimes. But he's going to tell us it was all a gay op. It was just a kayfabe, theatrical WWE-esque admission to committing multiple federal felonies. Which it's like, it's not, but even if it was, it's not a bold, it's like not a good strategy.
All right, but he admits it, and then like all right, in Discord he admits it, and then later is when Rekieta leaked the screenshot. Well, we know it's true. We know it's true.
Like, so if we're meant to believe it was all a work, he would have had to have been working his own people in Discord since July. with admissions to these federal crimes.
Yeah.
And the story he keeps changing and flip-flopping on and this and that. And these guys, honestly, like the Melton, like fanboys, of which there are 4 of them, like they keep leaving comments saying stuff like, remember when you guys said Melton was going to go to jail? I don't know if you know this, but it's been about a week. And the thing about the wheels of justice, the saying isn't that they're like NASCAR, like the Camelot there. They turn very slow. So let's give it like at least a month before you guys start beating your... He's not going to prison even though he admitted to federal crimes. Like, at minimum, Rekieta is getting felted from all of this. Whether or not Melton, the pedophile, gets felted, who the fuck knows? But I think he will. I think he will as well, because I think the courts over there are pissed. And the reason I say that is because with Ralph, they issued a nationwide body warrant for a misdemeanor.
Is it still on? Is it still on?
They're not fucking around anymore. They've denied every one of Rekieta's appeals without the state even having to file a fucking response. They're pissed off over there, and they're not taking shit. But this is the work of the Breaking Baldo News Network.
The king.
At Rekieta. The Breaking Baldo News Network's investigation team took a brief look at Patrick Melton's Discord server and discovered some very interesting details. In an unsecured text channel, I repeat, an unsecured text channel, because no one ever does OPSEC, named Steel Toe Nonsense. Patrick Melton and his associates openly and sincerely were talking about Rekieta Law allegedly saving Aaron Imholte's data meticulously and sharing the data with Patrick Melton. It appears that Patrick Melton believes, without a doubt, that the leaks are real, and he has received more data than the public has seen. Patrick also states to his fans that he has been very misleading on purpose in what appears to be an intentional effort to obscure his intent to participate in a criminal conspiracy. If this is indeed the case, Nevada's extensive journalist shield law does not protect him in the case of active participation in criminal acts. With the leak of these Discord logs, it appears neither Rekieta or Melton can no longer deny their premeditated criminal malice to publicly expose Aaron Imholte's confidential data without authorization, which may be found to be in violation of multiple Minnesota and Nevada law statutes in felony and gross misdemeanor degrees.
Felted.
So let's go over some of these Discord leaks.
Here it is. And by the way, he was like, I was trolling. No, you were not trolling. This is real.
So this is actually on 9/11. So Patrick Melton basically delivered a 9/11 to his own life and career on 9/11 by just outright saying all of this. Now, mind you, this is months before the issue ever was brought up on Kino Casino, months before Nick Rekieta revealed this, okay?
Way before, yes.
So Melton here is saying this is not from April. Oh, actually, rather, this is from the 11th of November. Sorry, I messed up.
Hang on, someone says...
This is not from April.
As someone said, 9/11 is finally something positive. Sorry, okay.
I messed up the dates. Doesn't matter. This is not from April. Aaron signed in himself on Nick's computer, and Nick has meticulously backed it all up for months. Aaron shut it down this morning, but he has it all saved. So there's the outright confession to all of it. That Aaron signed in on Nick's computer, and Nick continued with that session, backlogging all of this information, and that he was disseminating it. So basically, here is just an outright admission from Patrick about what's going on. But it goes, there's more than this. There's more than this.
Oh, I've been very misleading on purpose. No one knows shit. And this guy goes,
they do know.
Well, you know, maybe at that time, right? At that time that no one knew shit, right? Because that's before. That's a month before, actually, isn't that?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, no, you're right. I did have the dates right originally.
No, you were right. You were right. It's just this one was earlier. Yeah, you're right. You're right. All right. And this is from a month before that. We're going backwards in time. Are we on the right?
All right.
We're on the right. Yeah, we are. All right,
Okay.
cool. Here we go.
So this is Melton, and this is how we know that he does actually have access to these leaks from Rekieta, because this isn't publicly available. This is him talking about Aaron's broadcasting audition tape, Aaron's application to work for Leighton News or whatever the fuck it is, the radio station in Leighton, which he's obsessed with. He's obsessed with the idea of Steel Toe working at some radio station or another.
At a job.
Applying for some job.
Oh, job.
But he goes, leak from Leighton Media. Aaron's broadcasting deal details. He's asking Leighton for $3,000 a month to do his show for 3 hours a day.
Sheesh.
They're laughing around Leighton. That's what he needs to know. But what if I sell 4 to 6 ads for $400 a month too? He goes, that's right, Aaron. I know the deal. So this is back in July that Rekieta was sharing this information with Melton.
What a fucking idiot. He's posting it on Discord.
Was just blabbing in his public Discord about
Is
the
he
whole
insane?
fucking thing. And this guy goes, are you serious? Such an overinflated sense of self, cannot read the room, blah, 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 blah. Melton goes, I can 100% guarantee that's the deal he is floating. I've seen his little presentation. So he has seen the private
He had a
presentation.
PowerPoint? He had a PowerPoint presentation? Oh, shit. All right, are we on the next one now?
Yes.
Yes, okay. There we go.
And then listen to this. He's hinting that he has more. He goes, this is nothing compared to what I'm holding back on everything sacred. And Louis goes, but this is barely scratching the surface at what you hinted last week as news that would amuse us. And Melton says, if I shared the PDF of the deal Aaron sent over, you'd all fall down laughing. So this is him admitting that he's received data that was illegally obtained by Rekieta, that he has the PDF and the PowerPoint presentation that Aaron sent over.
No, it was a joke, though. It was a joke, even though it all was leaked.
It's all just a joke, even though it's over the period of months and months and months where he's telling his Discord this information. No. It was all just a grand op over the last 5-6 months for him to do this.
All right, here we go.
Guys, I was fooled. I didn't believe it, but reading it gave me a nice warm feeling through my guts. It's ha ha ha. One day Nick will reveal it all, I think. This is what Melton is saying, that one day Rekieta is going to reveal all of this information. I don't think he realized back in August when he sent that Rekieta would just do a retarded half measure of confirming that he actually did access all of this stuff illegally.
From his main account?
From his main account, thus putting them all in massive legal risk and danger, instead of just like dumping all the documents to embarrass Aaron. All right, let's go to the next slide.
I knew you wouldn't squander it all on here and wait to build up the suspense more. Like, this isn't like an actual just full crime.
All right, this was actually November 8th. I apologize. It wasn't back in August. This was
okay, yeah.
I keep messing that aspect up. It's
switching between months. It's good.
By the way, we got Medicare Masochist for 20 subs.
Let's fucking go. Bringing us 124 away from extended show. Let's hit it. Let's fucking go. Big support here. All right.
So somebody
Thank you,
asked,
Medicare Masochist. Appreciate you, bud.
Is this what Melton has been hinting to? And Melton goes, yes, browser tabs, search history, emails, voicemails, texts, YouTube stats and analytics, his money, everything.
Which he confirmed like 2 or 3 times, by the way.
Yes, he's confirmed it on the air. He's confirmed it in his Discord.
Yeah. Why do they care about boring errands? Someone asks. It's like the guy he A-logs. It's like his guy. You know what I mean? All right. There we go.
And okay.
Fart God
and there
Day.
he is saying, Aaron was searching, can I be sued for defamation without being served a cease and desist? So they're even looking into his Google messages and stuff like this. Was all just hanging out in plain sight in Melton's Discord. Him just admitting to all of this
stuff. All right. I cannot wait for the cope. What, that he's a cuck? That we knew?
You know, like he's obviously a gay cock.
You know?
And then Melton goes, the stuff Nick has, if I was Aaron, fuck.
Ooh. All right. There we go. Some more stuff.
And there he is admitting at the bottom of the page, I literally have the proposal he emailed the station. You know how now.
Jesus. Why would he just admit this all? Like, Jesus Christ.
And then at the bottom here, we say 11 months. Imagine what Rekieta has and knows. Imagine. So again, that's him admitting he knows the full length of, you know, how long Rekieta's had access.
You know he's fucking, like, losing his mind.
Oh, yeah. It's a full-on criminal conspiracy.
After this.
And he goes, and there may be more. Like I said, I wouldn't be shocked if Nick had cameras in his house. That's why I was like, remember how smug he is? Remember that the whole time I knew this. And then Melton goes, meanwhile, I have seen the rivers of cuck porn you watches. Like, but wait, you're watching the cuck porn to own the cuck? Melton here just full on admitting to watching rivers of cuckold porn. The deluge of cuckold porn. Oh, man, buddy.
All right.
Were you jocking it to it as well?
Even this guy goes,
like, oh. Melton's like, this allows so much you can't fathom. For instance, Aaron gets an email with every PayPal and Venmo donation. So if you can watch his inbox and see the real donations, you can put together a chart of fake donations. Now, Melton tried to argue that we took his clips out of context on his show and blah, 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 blah. Well, here he is in writing saying everything that he said on that show. It wasn't dishonestly edited in any way.
At all.
And he's just fucking coping, bro. The copium is strong from him and his fucking
Well, his whole thing was he was doing kayfabe. Oh, it was a joke. They fell into it. But meanwhile, months earlier, he's fucking, like, he's confirming it. So, and there's more here. All right.
And Nick's words. So this is, again, apparently Rekieta's told this to Melton that that Aaron watches is cuck porn. And apparently you guys are watching it too. You're watching it in order to own him for being a cuck. Now this is where I think they've really fucked up. So Melton here says, Aaron has been getting legal advice from Sean. And Rekieta could watch it all. Rekieta would send me Aaron panic searching to see if he was defaming me. So you're just admitting to now interfering with the case, to looking over emails between Aaron and his lawyer. Whoops. Big fail there from them. Like, that's going to be brutal. That could lead to Rekieta being disbarred.
Really?
If that really is the case.
Oh, shit. Yeah, of course. But they're going to subpoena all this, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, do you believe
they're
it's going to
subpoena? They're going to get the records of all the DMs and what was sent. And if Rekieta really was logged in like that, which it seems like he was, seems like he absolutely was based on what he's been posting from Aaron's search history and what Melton says that he has, they're going to be able to tell. And they're going to be able to absolutely boot fuck Rekieta. He may go to prison immediately. Who the fuck knows? If there are new charges, he's violated the conditions of his release, and he might go to jail right away.
Do you think this will be in effect before Tuesday?
I don't know if it'll be in effect before Tuesday. I have no idea what's going to happen.
It's tough.
It could be any day. It could be months from now that the hammer does come down. Because especially with these sort of investigations, like, the police are not necessarily, even in 2024, experts online or like, cyber sleuths. Do you know what I mean? But they absolutely can subpoena this stuff and figure it out. It might just take them a little while.
Okay.
It might just take them a little while.
All right. Here we go. There has to be some implication of a threat or something. Nick hasn't threatened Aaron. That is an implication.
I love how he's a legal expert now. So Melton's entire defense on this has been, well, the casino aren't lawyers. Breaking Baldo News isn't a lawyer, so we can't take their opinions as laymen seriously. But now Patrick Melton, layman of all laymen, is going to tell us, oh, don't worry, bro. There definitely has to be an implication of a threat or something.
Oh, yeah. No.
Well, hasn't there already been quite a few implications of threats at this point? Come on, you guys have been threatening him the whole time.
And Spectre is in chat, by the way, and I did see some of his report updates. He interviewed the lab, I believe. I might be wrong.
He interviewed some lab at the Pentagon. We'll get into Spectre, the update of what's going on with Spectre. But yeah, he spoke to top men at the Pentagon, and he figured it out.
Hell yeah. There we go.
So then Melton goes, Aaron would have to act fast to get this to affect Nick's case. Well, I think he did. I think he did act really fast on it. From what I understand, he's been saying on the show, on his own show, he's been talking to the police. He said that yesterday.
Yeah.
So
I
don't know. I wouldn't be very confident if I was over in that camp, having admitted to cyber crimes, and your hope is, well, I sure hope they don't take me seriously.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
Slide.
Oh, and then he goes, this wasn't nuclear. You'll see. You'll see.
Now, Melton's own guy goes, I personally think Rekieta did something illegal, but there's little verifiable proof of it. And even if there was, I'm not sure how motivated small-town law enforcement will be to investigate it. These people haven't even figured out Zoom. Now, I would agree with him, except for the fact that they seem very motivated based on the warrant that they put out for Ralph's arrest nationwide and how they've been handling this whole thing. But also, there's lots of verifiable proof of it because Google keeps track of who's logged into the profile and when.
Yep.
So all they need to do is subpoena that from Google, see that Rekieta was signed in from that device in his house, and look at all the activity in the sessions that Rekieta has done.
Even
be totally cooked.
Even if he deletes everything, they erase everything, or he's banned from anything, it still stays in their records. Like legally, these companies, Twitter, whatever the fuck, Discord, has to keep a copy in like a back end like server, right? In case anything like this happens. So there's no cleaning this up. No, I'm wondering, did they clean this up after this was leaked by Rekieta? Do you think?
I don't think they can clean it up. There's no way to clean this up. They're fucked. Like Ozone here says, it would take 5 minutes to subpoena the records. Well, Moody's counter argument is it would take one click of a button to stop Ian Hawke from interrupting a court hearing. But this is a little bit different.
Yeah.
This is witness intimidation in a case. They take this shit really, really seriously.
Yeah. And so threatening to leak your shit. I
just wouldn't rely on, well, I did commit these crimes and confess to them, but, I hope that they just never do anything about it. Like, I don't know if that's the best. Like, okay, well, I'm just relying on that they'll never get around to doing anything about it. Not sure that's the best defense.
We got, oh my God. Okay, here we go. We've got Melton. Okay.
This is so funny, bro. Melton here, he goes, I don't know how far it will get or what kind of searches or warrants there will be or whatever, but I'm here to see. Well, you have to, bro. What, are you going to end yourself? Like, you're going to have to see what happens. He says, I have no idea what's going to happen for real. Like, bro, why would you get involved in this if you don't know?
Well,
like, that's what's
to
crazy.
Expose Aaron for cuck porn, right?
Oh,
like, that's like the lowest. That's like big risk, barely like it's like betting on something that you win 5 cents if you were to win, but like the chances of losing.
Because no matter how much anyone thinks they know, he says, I don't think I've done anything illegal, but he says, I've said I was doing a lot of illegal stuff. What? Like,
wait.
Melton
Can you repeat that? Repeat
how
that.
insane this is. This is
that?
Their position. This is their
I've said I was doing a lot of illegal stuff.
I don't think I've done anything illegal, but I've said I was doing a lot of illegal stuff.
But if you lie that you have stuff on the witness, but don't have stuff on the witness, that's still intimidation, pretending that you have stuff on the witness. Duh.
Like, yeah, exactly. Ignorance is not a legal defense, and like trolling is not a legal defense either, and saying it was just WWE that we were intimidating this witness with his personal information and threats of releasing it is not going to fly.
Yeah.
I don't think I've done anything illegal, but I've said I was doing a lot of illegal stuff. Whoa. Then he says, I said a lot of people were. Okay, so he's implicating other people, saying that they're committing crimes, including Rekieta. And then he says, a lot of it is complete horseshit. Well, what's horseshit and what's not?
A lot of it.
Because we have Discord logs over the course of months of you actively discussing this and admitting to all of it with your fans. So he says, I have no idea how much info Nick has or obtained about Aaron. It was just fun to witness, real or not.
Hey, the police are marks. The police are marks, bro. The police.
Oh my God. We got the rivers of cuck porn though, folks. It's totally gonna it's gonna go great. We won. We watched rivers of Aaron's cuck porn.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they're
For
absolutely
science.
screwed here. There's Melton's cope. He goes, Nick could have purposely fucked with me and made up something that isn't so. That's why I don't know what's real for sure. He trolls. But what you do know for sure, Melton, is that you do know he has access to it.
Yeah.
Because he sent you the PDF. That's what you're saying in your chat. He sent you the PowerPoint presentation of Aaron's application to work at the radio station. So you received information that could have only been obtained from Aaron's hacked Google account.
Yeah.
So, like, it all just falls apart
Ash,
on the face of it.
Meme Copium in chat, what's up, bud? Says, it's not a crime if you don't know what's real.
You just don't know what's real or
you don't
not,
know it's
so
real,
it's
not a crime,
bro.
Yeah. All right. Okay, is that it for that
so
one?
I think that's it for the Melton folder there.
Beautiful.
Oh, yeah, coming up next, we have Melton. Yeah, if we go to the next folder.
Okay.
We have Melton versus Legal Mindset.
Whoa, buddy. Let's go. Yeah, 1 sec. I'm going to resize these screens. Alrighty. Boom. Fuck, hang on. Let me put us on top. There we go.
More like legal dick sucker, bitch.
I'm trying to learn how to do it behind the scenes. It's really fucking hard. Okay, here we go. You ready? Legal cocksucker.
Format here on Twitter, and kind of exposed that he leaked this stuff.
I watched this thing. It was so Kino, bro.
Yeah.
Did you watch that? I watched. It was like an 8-minute video. Like, holy, he was fucking tearing into Melton.
All right, again, if you go by what you see and know, and not what some fat comedian spouts on a show, what did he
he's
leak?
a comedian.
Like, this is
it's
the thing
comedy,
is,
guys.
Like, comedians are not exempt from the law.
Yeah.
Like, you know that, right, Melton? Just because you're fat and a comedian doesn't mean that you're not responsible for distributing illegally obtained materials or participating in a criminal conspiracy to intimidate a witness, okay? Like, trust me, bro. Like, Council of Fat People is not at the level to the point where we can just get rid of your crimes, okay?
Yeah.
Like Boogie and the head of the Council of the Obese does not have this power. We are sadly not at Hoffman levels. We're trying at the Council of Obesity, but we just can't pull those strings just yet.
Oh, shit.
We don't know what this is.
Jesus, Bosman crack.
We have no proof or knowledge of what this is. It resembles what he described Aaron Imholt's history as, but we don't know any.
What do you mean? You screenshotted it.
Bro,
There was a
stop.
screenshot.
It's such
Come on.
Bro, come on.
Okay, what's this?
Now listen, again, this is a lawyer.
See you, Junior
And
Bacon Sneedman.
kind of exposed that he leaked this stuff. So he leaked this information. So all this kind of roots back to him leaking this information, that he accessed Aaron's search history and took a screenshot.
Now, everyone's all gotten that from me, not Nick. It's got to be based on some sort of fact,
idiot.
right?
Like, you idiot, it's both. You revealed all of that, but Rekieta himself on his own public Twitter posted screenshots of Aaron's porn history, buddy. So, like, it's both. It's like you guys are screwing yourselves on every level possible. It's kind of crazy.
It's wild.
Everyone is running around now saying Nick Rekieta has access and is going through all this stuff. Now, again, it's all based on shit I've said. Has Nick told me to say that? No. Has he told me not to say that? No. So Kino Casino edited a clip of me, plays it on his show, out of context and cut. Then Alyssa Clips puts it up.
Out of context?
Are you fucking kidding me? Out of context.
Here's the thing.
Buddy, look at your own Discord server and what you wrote in there. It lines up with everything you said in those clips. I removed dead air, and I removed your futile attempts to spin and bullshit this, is what I removed.
Yes.
It's totally legitimate. And for him to, the word implied, listen, buddy, you're telling us what it is.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
The word implied doesn't give you this magical immunity when everything else you've said is, he actually does have it, and I have it too. So.
Exactly.
And legal mindset goes there for the source.
And it's like, what? So we have to now, to watch people's clips and it not be out of context, we have to watch literally the entirety, like 1 hour with dead air, with super chats, with like repetitions, or else it's like out of context. Shut the fuck up.
It's not just us that clipped it. Like Misery Loves Clips clipped it. I think Alyssa Clips clipped it.
Yes.
I think Stallion clipped it. Like there's a lot of people that clipped Melton. It's not just like there was nothing to see there whatsoever.
Exactly.
And we just went there to make shit up and try and make him look. No. He's made himself look retarded, and he regrets doing this stream.
Yeah, of course.
Because he admitted to the entire conspiracy.
Yes, exactly.
Let's hear the confession. They're all calling it the confession.
It is a confession.
It is. They're all call everyone who's.
I know Johnny cried again today. We might get to it.
Oh, I
have
linked
to
to
move
it.
on.
Yeah, I
It's so funny, bro. Like Johnny.
No, dude. Was he? Yeah, no, it wasn't about us though, right?
No, it's about
The
valor.
valor. It was the valor, stolen valor.
Like, they're so funny.
I thought
dude.
that was
Johnny,
the catalyst.
They
I thought
gave
that was
Johnny all this food and they took it away from him because he was stolen valor. Oh, fuck, man.
Play this.
I don't know.
And hear the confession.
Wow, one of the shoes has dropped. Nick Rekieta has access to Aaron's Google account. And
So
he's watching his own. He's watching
his own confession. But even if that was edited and deceptive, which it's
AI, it's the AI.
or some shit.
Yeah.
We have the screenshots from your Discord where you say that to your own fans.
Yeah.
From like a month ago or longer. So just stop.
Aaron is finally.
Well, that's me laughing.
He's trying. He's like, Melton's trying to come up with a lie on the spot. Like he doesn't know what to say. He looks just dumbstruck.
Oh, fuck, dude.
There it is. So there it is. You get the confession.
By the way, big shout outs to him on his main video. He shouted us out. But it's really funny. He watched our like 20-second clip, and then you just hear me laugh. That's it.
Look at legal mindsets like we got him.
Yeah,
like,
we got
the face
him.
your lawyer makes when they've got him.
He's
Like,
doing
this
really
is like
good, by the way. Eh?
Yeah, this is like Johnny Cochran's face when the glove doesn't fit. He's like, we got him. It's the same thing here with Melton. Like, Melton, you confess to these crimes. You've even admitted in your Discord today that we just showed that you've said you've committed crimes. So when you're saying you've committed crimes, like, we're going to believe you. Legal Mindset's going to believe you when you're openly admitting to felonies. Like, people are going to believe you, and then you can't go, oh, you're stupid. Well, it seems like you did, and you've confessed to it. Like, I don't know. Whoa, joke's on us. He fooled us into thinking he committed crime. Whoa.
You break the law, admit it, and then go, I was kidding. It's right. That's fine.
That you use his search history.
If I did say that, it doesn't mean he does, and it doesn't mean I'm telling the truth.
Oh, yeah. If I did say that, it doesn't. If I did say that, it doesn't mean I'm saying the truth. Like, why should we believe you about anything then? Why should we believe you now? You have a clear incentive to lie about it to cover your own ass. And it doesn't even matter what you say at this point, Melton. You've given everybody enough. You've certainly given the police enough reasons to subpoena you. Like, there's a they have a reasonable belief.
There's too
that they
much.
Can now go ahead. Yes,
There's
way
too much
now,
evidence.
fella.
There's like way too much evidence.
It's over.
But this would imply, that
I said imply.
Nick Rekieta.
Wait, hang on, wait. You can't just say.
So this is his big got you. His big got you is that in the edit, it removed. This would imply. Well, yeah, it would imply, and it is true. Yeah, you're saying that Rekieta has access to this, bro. Like, that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that you said imply before it. The reason it was removed was because it was a pathetic cope that you don't deserve. It was a pathetic crutch cope that I just chopped off because it's basically the same as
Is that what he's saying about the?
That's what he's saying. That he's saying because I removed. The implication is. But all that anyone needs to know is what he says afterwards. The implication is.
That.
By the way, implying is also like saying it's possible. It's like Nick said this, and it implies that. It's like, shut the fuck up.
Nick Rekieta has access to Aaron's Google account. Why did you cut off the this would imply?
I told you because it was a big cope.
You pissed him off, bro.
It was a big pathetic cope, bro. Like, just stop. Well, I just said it was implied. Like, come on, bro.
Fuck.
Just stop it because you didn't say it was implied in the Discord screenshots that we just showed. So we're just playing semantic bullshit games is what he wants to do. Whereas I'm just going to get straight to the truth with you guys and remove his excuses and his copes and his dead air. And I think you appreciate that.
Actually.
Part of the sentence.
Yeah.
Because then it wouldn't be
$250,000 man's right. This implies means that I assert that.
That's what I'm saying.
So
yeah.
it just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter.
It's like saying something where I'm like, this implies that I'm threatening you. It's like, okay. But yours, yeah, okay.
Confession. He knows that would never fly in court, but that's the cut PPP made.
Woo!
Alyssa Clips made.
Oh, no.
And now Legal Mindset made. And they call it the confession.
It is a confession.
Oh,
It is a
But
confession.
he's seething,
And
dude.
we have the Discord logs too, bro. He's scared.
Oh, yeah.
He's scared. He's seething. He's not used to being under this sort of scrutiny and pressure from people that will actually critically examine what he says, like Baldo News Network, and hold him to account. He can't deal with it. So he's melting down, just like saying nonsense and trying to play pedantic semantic word games. The truth is you confess to it all. It's obvious.
Yeah, if he's saying if he's saying that Rekieta is implying he has stuff, you're saying that you think he has stuff. It's the end. Yeah, the assertion. It's like the end. You didn't say allegedly. That would be the word, right?
But even then, it's not like a magic get out of jail free
True,
card.
exactly,
You just keep
exactly.
saying
Yes,
allegedly, or the implication is like,
Yes.
come on.
Yes,
come on.
exactly. Okay, so that was that folder. Wow, geez. We'll have
so
time.
now
We'll
going
smash through.
into
We'll smash through.
Rekieta's diary.
No.
Let's cue up some sad music.
All right,
for this.
let me grab the
Guys,
window here.
Rekieta is a poor, innocent widow victim, and he's being persecuted. He's being scapegoated. He's being haunted.
Oh no!
Oh my God.
Where's our favorite?
Oh my God.
Woo! Okay, there we go.
Dear Diary, another week has gone by, and I continue to marvel at the way the internet processes information. This is just obvious seething at Kiwi Farms. I'm also haunted by specters, not ghosts, but figurative projections people place.
Wait, is he talking about Spectre?
You know, yeah, he is. Like, it's just so retarded, bro.
That's
and
so
I'm doing my witty word games. He's keeping his diary. Like, for all you know, this could be written by a 16-year-old girl. Right? Like, it tipped off for me when someone claimed that me letting April live rent-free in a house was abusive because I didn't supply the house with internet. This specter of addiction allows people to self-justify any thoughts or words toward the alleged addict. There are several other specters at play currently, but right now, addiction is the hammer in search of nails. Bro, you're getting nailed to the cross every day. You know, like, it's the hammer and there's just no nails to hit. Like, bro, I have 9 folders today, like, at least. I have, like, 10 folders of you fucking spiraling and losing your mind. Oh, man. And this, the thing is, here he is admitting to housing April and all this.
Wait, yeah,
here
exactly. Okay, were you lying then or were you lying now? Were you lying then or were you lying now? All right.
Once you are labeled something sufficiently, the reality of your circumstances are irrelevant. The label is all that matters. Buddy, everybody has known this since the beginning of time. Like, Rekieta, you build 1,000 bridges and suck one dick. You're not a bridge builder. You're a dick sucker. Likewise, you review 1,000 trials on LawTube, but you put on the baldo and get pegged. You're no longer a law tuber. You're a baldo tuber, bud.
Which, by the way, he brings back the
like,
baldo today.
He brings back the baldo again. You know, like, oh my God, I'm being labeled as well, because there's evidence that you are this, right? And you've basically admitted to all of this. Like, you've admitted to the cuckoldry, the swinging with Aaron, having April. You admitted to explaining it to your own kids, which you again brought up, or April brought up that you explained. Like, it's disgusting. Anyway, the brands of addict or alcoholic are used to strip the humanity. Oh my God. To strip the humanity. Like, when you called Maddox a cuck, was that stripping the humanity from him? Or when you called Jack Murphy a cuckold and a like, was that stripping the humanity from Jack Murphy? like, let's get a grip here. My humanity has been stripped away by people online.
You're right.
Listen,
it's like
buddy,
he went after everyone.
Pathetic.
He Pure went after everyone, ruined everyone's life, or like a lot of people's lives with like his massive audience, and it was like justified because they fucked up, right? But now when it's you're the one who fucked up, no, I'm a victim. The
addict is never allowed to deny the branding. Denial is a sign of addiction after all. Well, it is.
Yep.
Yeah,
it is.
The brands justify condescension and any removal of autonomy necessary to prevail over the addict in any disagreement. The brands also justify any imagination someone has about the addict. They must act in this way because they are an addict. It is a matriarchal specter that births and nurtures further. Rekieta. Rekieta, buddy, it's a retard alert. It's a serious retard alert, buddy. The matriarchy didn't do this to you, bro.
Wait.
You did this to you when you were railing lines of cocaine and drinking a bottle of whiskey a night. This isn't feminism's fault. This isn't the Longhouse's fault or the matriarchy's fault or women's fault. Like, this has nothing to do with any of that. And for him to still deny that he's an addict after all this time, it is proof that he's a fucking addict. Because he won't admit he has a problem. Listen, pal, like, until the cops came through, maybe you didn't have a problem, bro. But, like, wake up. The police arrested you for 26 grams of cocaine. You've endangered your children. Your daughter tested positive for cocaine, Nick. Like, wake up. Like, live in the real world, bro. Like, you fucked up. This is affecting your children. It is affecting your family. It's affecting you. And you still won't admit that there was anything wrong or there was ever any addiction. And, like, blaming people for assuming that there is. What do you think? Like you think that Andy doesn't have to deal with constantly people saying that he's, like, an addict or that he, is on drugs and stuff like that. Yeah, he has to deal with that.
They lie.
Because you were an addict for a long time. And that's just something you have to fucking deal with.
Yeah, 2 years.
It's like, I could be on a totally clean diet or whatever. People are still going to think I'm eating cheeseburgers.
Yes.
I probably am. Like, let's be real. So, like, Rekieta, like, let's try and live in the real world. Fuck.
And by the way, when you're an addict, you're always an addict. You're always a recovering addict, right?
Well, yeah.
That's the truth right there. Even if you quit, you're always recovering, right? But yeah. And some people aren't happy about you quitting. They have to find a cope and an excuse. You know what I mean? All right, here we go.
Oh my God.
Come
this
on.
year has been this is like a full-on essay, bro. Like, I'm sorry, Steve. Steve, you're felted, bro. Like,
Steve Bros.
Steve Bros. Steve Bros. It's over. It's over, okay? Okay. That said, the assumptions about me, my family, my vices, my physical and mental health are often distorted, exaggerated, or downright fabricated. It is going to take me a lot of time to try and correct the ones that matter, but I will try. The thing is, Rekieta, like, a lot of it's not. Like, a lot of it is just the truth. And yeah, there is speculation. There is exaggerations.
Yep.
Like, there is that because people are fascinated by how badly that you fucked up in your continual spiral. So people are going to speculate and they are going to get things wrong or they are going to exaggerate some. But that is what every public figure has to deal with. You are not unique in that circumstance. And when it was happening to everybody else, you had no problem. But now that it happens to you, you have a problem.
Hey,
by the way,
they're asking, is this on Twitter or on Blue Sky?
This is from his locals.
Wait, no. Oh, it is his diary.
This
oh
is his diary from his locals, man. He goes, to those waiting for accountability or apology, etc., I'm sorry you'll have to wait a bit. The closure of my criminal case is necessary to speak candidly, and I believe candor is necessary to build trust. Here's the thing, Rekieta, when it comes to all of this, you never had to say anything.
Yes.
You never had. And if you didn't say anything and you did just shut your mouth and wait your time and try and settle it in court, you would be a lot better off than you are now. Or if you did magically have this magic bullet that cleared your name and exonerated you,
you would do it.
Then just reveal it and show it to us. But instead, he half steps. Instead, he keeps arguing with people and talking about his case.
Or you'd save it for court.
His chances in court, yes.
Or you'd save it for court, yes. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he goes, I have made some poor choices. You don't say you've made some poor choices, buddy. And he's had some unfortunate variables in his equations. What a way to put it. Yeah, I had this unfortunate variable of the cocaine going up my nose, and then, it bled, okay, on camera. These things combined to bring my life to brink over the course of this year. but the circumstances and story that brought them about help people with perspective. I am well aware of my mistakes and failings, but people confuse being muzzled with not being accountable. These are not the same, blah, blah, blah. Okay, next slide. Holy.
Okay, but
He
wait,
is
more?
not accountable to a ravenous mob. And then Rekieta now says, this is paid content. Take it down or I will.
Oh,
So
shit.
apparently, reading a fucking blog post that you put up is paid content.
But if you
that we
comment
can't
on
read.
it, no, if you comment on it, though, it's fair use. And obviously,
Isn't it fair
Rekieta,
use? It's transformative.
it's transformative. Yeah, exactly. So
But
you
this
can't,
is
like...
full-on
yeah.
mundane Matt's here. Does he think that this is helping him in the eyes of the public to threaten his critics with takedown notices?
Mm-hmm.
Does he think that makes him look innocent or make him look like the good guy in any of this? Again, Rekieta, a lot of this, in fact, 90 to 95% of it, is your own fault.
Whoa.
You can't control Kiwi Farms. You can't control the way they react. They're always going to be looking for somebody to felt, somebody to fuck with, laugh at. And if it's your turn, that's what's going to happen, bro. You can't, like, blame Josh Moon because he didn't sweep it enough for you. You can't blame people on Twitter for making fun of you either. That's what people on Twitter are going to do. If their opinions truly meant nothing to you and you were truly above it all, you would just ignore it, or you would just put a blanket denial out and move on with your life.
Yep.
But you are obsessed with controlling the narrative, and so you're immediately jumping to address it, which is very, very foolish. Medicinal fentanyl brings it up. It used to just
We
be
gotta do
Kiwi
it.
Farms, but now Rekieta is even being featured on true crime channels.
Yeah.
Like Anna Kasparian is talking about this. Other big law tubers are talking. This isn't just Kiwi Farms or just the sector. Like, this story is huge now. And there are tons of people weighing in on it. And just like how Johnny Depp had to deal with people like you speculating about his private life, which parts do you believe, which parts do you not, you also have to deal with people speculating about your personal life, as does every single person who is a public figure. Is it nice to deal with? No. But it's the price that you pay to not have to answer to a 9-to-5 boss and to get to be a retarded fucking YouTuber, like the dream of everybody.
Yeah.
More kids today want to be YouTubers than want to be astronauts. And you're a successful, were a successful live streamer, and you're complaining and crying and fucking whinging about how the public doesn't believe you. Well, you've given them no reason to believe you because you lie and lie and lie, and
Exactly.
your lies are easily disproven.
You're a lying liar that lies. So there's the threat. There's the threat. Then, very funny response here from Breaking Ball News. Like,
He changes it to Cog wrote it.
So-
Which, like, honestly, you could believe that Cog wrote that by how whiny and pathetic and all that. Dear diary, another week has gone by, and I continue to marvel at the way the internet processes information. I'm also haunted by specters. Oh, man. It kind of does sound like Cog, you know?
well, it reminds me too of like what of how Cog posted Rekieta's fucking his stream that he deleted. So it's just a good
at
reference.
First I was fooled. So the first
You
way I
were?
read this
No way.
was as a Cog, like this version. And I go, well, this sounds an awful lot about Rekieta, but it's Cog. Like, what's Cog on? Is Cog okay?
Yo,
I didn't realize Cog wrote these big fucking essays, and then I figured it out. I'm like, no, this is obviously Rekieta.
honestly, Rekieta is really good with like information, but occasionally he'll slip in a really good fucking zinger. I was laughing when I saw that. I was in tears.
Well, Rekieta said the watermark makes it transformative, so surely that's enough. Oh my God.
All
So
right.
this guy goes, it would seem there's a vast conspiracy against you. I'm sorry that is happening. Rekieta goes, the implication seems to be that Keanu was talking to Aaron prior to her conversation with April. That makes the conversation exceptionally dishonest. It also goes against what Keanu said to me directly. I've come to expect dishonest interactions, especially from content creators. It really sucks that April is unable to trust it. Well, none of you should trust Keanu, because she's a dirty fucking snake.
Wait,
Just like none of you should employ Patrick Melton, the fucking pedophile, as your agent, or Ralph, the hollering fucking hog rage pig, either.
The rapist.
But beggars can't be choosers when it comes to their associates. And so you guys are desperate and trusted a bunch of fucking low-down, dirty snakes and bums. And so you get what you deserve.
By the way, I wouldn't mention her name. She did 5 hours.
Oh, did she? I honestly had no idea. Did she really?
Yeah, it was like she was just more disappointed. She was more just disappointed.
What?
She's like, I thought it was good info, guys. Like, why are you being mean?
Well, listen, like, we appreciate the info. We just don't appreciate you. That's the thing. We appreciate the info. We just don't appreciate you, Keanu. Okay. This guy goes, but he's an addy and should be capable of seeing attorney and should be capable of seeing how it would look. I don't buy that he's shocked by that accusation. The last bit he wrote does at least acknowledge he made a poor choice.
Yep.
And Rekieta says, I've acknowledged them for a long time, just not to you. Sorry you weren't invited into those areas of my life. He's just so fucking pretentious and condescending. Like,
that's fucked. Oops.
All right,
sorry, did I?
All right, here we go. Let's go.
We're on the next one. We're on the next one, right? Yeah.
It's enough.
Sorry.
Okay, now here we have Rekieta about hookers. So we'll start with...
Okay.
Do you want to start there, or do you want to start with his... Let's start with his tweets about it.
Yeah, start his tweet. Let's do it. All right. The abortion hooker, right?
So there he is, bringing up the Baldo again and hookers and all this stuff. So amongst other things, being an addict and alcoholic, dude was also a sex-obsessed swinger who proudly proclaimed his love for Baldos, all while having 5 kids, by the way. Not any of that is false. It's all true. Here comes Rekieta. Get ready for this. Oh, yes. Such a sophisticate. Such a genius I am. You see, let me huff my thoughts. The Baldo is representative of my firm belief in exploring sexuality with your partner and destigmatizing the bedroom.
Wait.
It was also just fucking funny, and the marketing was hilarious. Why is it such a big fucking deal to people? It's a goofy sex toy. So what?
Because you were a family man. You were a grifter. You went after fucking Jack Murphy for fucking... Go ahead.
I didn't realize the mission statement of Rekieta Law was not to be a small-town lawyer in rural Minnesota explaining law-splaining the interwebs.
Yep.
But was, in fact, to explore sexuality with your partner.
Yeah.
And destigmatize the bedroom. The thing is, Rekieta, if you started off your channel as like a Lacey Green type channel, remember the channel she used to have? I don't know if she still does it.
But
it was
something,
like talking
sex
about sex
discussion or whatever.
Stuff in the bedroom and fetishes. If that's the audience that you grew from day one and maintained, you probably wouldn't have had any problem, Rekieta.
She died? Lacey Green's dead? From AIDS. Oh, okay.
She didn't die. No. Yeah, and then she ended up becoming red-pilled when she got with Chris Reagan.
Yeah.
I don't know where she ended up.
I think,
but she did that channel, right? And if you had done something similar to that, there wouldn't have been any problem. Rekieta built his reputation on being a family man, on being a father of 5, on being a small-town Minnesota lawyer, with conservative values and conservative opinions. That's what he built his brand on.
Exactly.
And nobody really wants to see their small-town conservative lawyer playing with sex toys on camera. Like, just even to think about it just from the simple basis, not even of business and what your audience wants, but just from what's best for your family. What's best for your kids and for your family is to keep your sex life private.
Yeah.
To keep all of that behind closed doors and not to flaunt it in people's faces when they're uncomfortable with it. But you couldn't accept that. You had to flaunt the Baldo. You had to post pictures of you with a bottle up your bum. You had to post photos of your wife naked, lewd photos of your wife. And so don't be surprised when people don't like that And when he says it was funny, yes, it was funny.
For
it
us.
was funny that you actually put your ball sack into a cock cage and penetrated your wife with it. That was funny. So don't be upset when people make fun of you for it. But to talk about how the Baldo is this representative symbol and this and that, this is insane levels of pretension and delusion.
The way you said that, like, it's like that's his logo. By the way, did you know?
Yeah, so the Baldo represents my values. You know, some people, they're represented by the Gadsden flag, don't step on me. Some, the hammer and sickle. Yeah. Others, you know, trade unions. Many have different symbols. Confederates, the stars and bars. But for me, it is the Baldo. The Baldo sums up my worldview, which it does for Rekieta.
Yeah.
It actually sums it all up. It's about his own pleasure, no matter at what cost or expense, even his dignity and his own family. It doesn't matter. So here we have Rekieta saying also he's never fucked a hooker at the bottom.
Well, it's
okay.
I mean, it's crackheads at the shack.
You
know, it's
like,
crackheads at the fucking
if they
barn.
Sucked your dick for crack, it wasn't necessarily money,
right?
But is it still prostitution? They're sucking your dick for drugs. But Blurpy goes, but a hooker has fucked you, correct? And Rekieta says, no, Jesus Christ. I love how this is the part that he's denying, like it would even be a big deal to fuck hookers or anything like this. Especially after all this come out about him.
That's like the least fucking.
This is the part he's still gonna deny.
That's the least. That's like the fucking whatever.
At this point, like it's the least embarrassing.
You're in a polycule. Hookers is like.
He goes, prefer to call them escorts. Doesn't change the whole paying for sex thing. And Rekieta says he's never paid for sex. Well, even just last week, we know that's bullshit because he paid for that hooker's abortion at fucking hedonism.
Yeah, he didn't pay for sex. He paid for the abortion. Basically.
Come on. Okay, so now we now are going to fact check these claims.
Okay.
By having a look at some statements that his friends have made.
Camelot. I don't think Camelot is purposely trying to expose him, by the way. I'm pretty sure he's just like, oh, goddamn, you know, he's the fucking.
Comes to mind.
Yeah, he's just, yo, how you doing? Yeah, no, I like him.
Matt says, the biggest part that sucks is Nick has actively been lying to his fans for over a year. Side piece, drugs, swinging. It really sucks. Look.
Look.
And he has to look down like. Look, folks,
you know, whatever. It is what it is. It is
what it is.
I get it. I don't think viewers should be involved in anybody's personal life, but yeah,
no,
it was pretty egregious, and I think that's kind of what was. I was like, come on, man, like it was. It's so egregious. And I can deal with the hooker thing and the drug, like whatever, fuck it. There's not much. I don't know if it was like a blow up situation, like he blew up real fast. I mean, shit, I blew up real fast. I think it just depends on who you are. And then it was just the getting consumed with the celebrity. I don't know. He's always been humble around me. He's always been really cool. So I've never really thought of it in even that way. But it's just the drugs and the hookers and all that shit just got way too fucking.
The drugs and the hookers.
The polycule.
The drugs and the hookers. The polycule.
The Baldo.
We go to the next clip, though. It's even more
way
than
too
just
prevalent.
saying, okay, we can finish it.
But okay,
Here is him saying Rekieta offered him hookers.
Let's go.
He walked in and Rekieta was like, hey, do you want some hookers?
Hooker.
You know your friend, like that's how you know you got real friends. Your real friends will offer you like stuff. They got like, hey, dude, you want to do it? You want to do a line? Huh? You want some?
Is that
it's
a Gundam?
That's how you know it's your real friend. The people that don't care about you, they won't share shit.
No, you're right. You're right. Now that means Nick's a real friend. I'll never forget that time.
Dude,
he pulled me to the side at like 6 a.m. one time. Was like, "You gonna hit these hookers?" And I'm like, "No, I'm going to go to bed." Nick. He's like, "Oh, well, I'll see you later."
He pulled me aside in the hotel at 6 a.m. and said, "Hey, you want to fuck these hookers?" And my wife in Camelot declined. But this is Rekieta telling, oh, there were never any hookers. There were never any whores. There was never any. Come on. Camelot exposing you in 4K. This was 6 months ago, Nick.
And we all know that's a lie. You're like, no to hookers yet, right?
Look, man.
Good day, sir.
I'm from Alabama. They leave a slug trail around. We had one called Charlotte the Harlot. Charlotte the Harlot.
No, I gotta
No, this
say,
is like
by the
Nick
way,
Rekieta level. He'd be getting
Gundam's
some high-class
worldview
escorts.
about real friends is kind of fucked up because,
Yeah.
like, your real friends, he probably wouldn't want to, you know, he wants you doing coke or fucking whores. Like,
Yeah.
at least if they wanted your best interest. Obviously, people fall into degeneracy every now and then.
That
you know
happens,
what I mean?
right?
It happens.
That
There's lots of
happens.
degeneracy. We've been there. We've been there. We've had our share of degenerate acts in our time.
Sometimes.
Okay? But, you know, we weren't the family man father to 5 kids at the time. And, like, the law tube pope, okay?
Listen.
You know, so...
I think.
No, she had dude. Her teeth looked like a chainsaw blade.
Wait, so you're telling me that Nick
No.
Rekieta was getting nasty Southern hookers?
No,
No.
Oh,
Not even the
truth.
good kind.
Their teeth were like a chainsaw as she was sucking him off. Oh no!
no. This was in a high class area. I'm just saying.
Oh,
that
I was about to
her-
say, now this is an exclusive.
Her
He's
teeth. I
talking
don't know
about-
why she's not taking some of the money and getting her teeth fixed. Because it looks like somebody hit her with damn brass knuckles over and over in her teeth.
Wait, are you talking about the
What?
girl from Alabama or the girl from Vegas?
Vegas.
The girl in Vegas
How
had
many
bad teeth.
hookers are there?
dude.
Like with the
The teeth.
Buddy, like it's one thing in Los Angeles. In Alabama, though, what was going on in Alabama? This raises more questions than answers in a certain way. Like, whoa, buddy, what?
We got by like at the 2-hour mark. It's in 7 minutes. Do we keep going? Do we message
Let's
Steve?
power through a little
All
bit
right,
more.
all right,
Let's
all
see.
right.
Whenever Steve wants to come on, like if he needs to
Yeah,
force
exactly.
his way on,
Yes.
just let us know, Steve, because we're gonna try and do
We'll
as much of
pound
this as we
through,
can.
and we'll save the rest for the next show, right? So.
A lisp
Yeah.
because they were so bad. But
You
she
probably
she
need
was
to
kind of
discount.
hot.
Oh, that's cute.
She's kind of hot though.
It's cute. Do you have a picture for me and Cecil?
But I guarantee your ass did not make any noises. There's no queefs coming out of that. No farts.
Like most of these women have, like they promote on Instagram and stuff like that. Don't ask me how I know. No, I know.
All
right, next
righty.
video.
All right.
Nick, we need to bring shame back to the fullest.
Yep. In
And
all
look-
aspects of everything.
In aspects of everything. Look, man, it's okay to kink shame.
Really? Wow, that aged poorly. So there they are talking about we need to bring shame back. People need to be moral. They need to be held accountable in the public square. Oh, how long. How far we have strayed from that. Holy. Holy, guys. All right, next folder. What do we have in
Alright.
folder 4?
Rekieta,
God.
the relationship status.
The copes are unreal. April and I have been together for months. I have not been together for months, rather. I've seen her something like 3 times in the past 60 days. Does anyone believe this?
Yeah,
And
right.
Even if that is true,
She's
it's
still
like,
next
whoa,
door. Like, come on.
She's still right next door. One of those was just her using my studio. But you shouldn't have let her do, Rekieta. You should have told her to do it from her phone or hotspot her computer from her phone, because her being filmed in her court hearing at your house when her entire legal defense is she's a guest in the house is really dumb. But maybe that's part of his plan to screw her. He goes, I don't care about the term trad wife. It's interesting because I thought you said you were trad all the time and described Lady Rackets as a trad wife. But he goes, people should do what is right for them. Sometimes things don't go well, or you find out something doesn't work for you. Buddy, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that introducing a polycule into your marriage, a polycule dynamic, is going to lead to the death of your marriage and a whole bunch of drama and bullshit that you didn't need to deal with. Like, sometimes things don't go. Imagine, like, snorting cocaine, smashing hookers, and being in a polycule. It didn't do good things for my marriage or my legal career. And then he goes, the beat part, though, is when you mind your own fucking business.
Yeah, yeah.
Nobody's going to mind their own business. Like, you're on Twitter in 2024. The whole point of Twitter is to go be a part of other people's fucking business. Like, I just don't understand. It's like, he thinks that we live in this, like, fantasy kumbaya land where no one will ever laugh at him when he himself participated in, like, felting Maddox with the lawsuit. Like, I just don't get it. Like, were you not supposed to make fun of Mars Girl back then when she was being a cunt? Were you just supposed to mind your own business about that? Were you supposed to mind your own business about Kyle Rittenhouse and shut your mouth? Or mind your own business about Amber Heard shitting the bed? Like, none of this makes any sense, what you're saying.
All right, here we go.
He goes, I will say this, I fully stand by my statement that monogamy is the best recipe for marriage. Well, you learned now, didn't you? You've learned now, haven't you, you stupid fuck? You learned now. Like, maybe you should have listened to this advice a few years ago, you stupid cunt. Like, well, I don't know what to say. Monogamy is the best recipe for a good marriage. I just didn't follow it at all. In fact, I was publicly a whoremonger. It's okay. Ring it up. Rackets dub. Then Minx goes, shut the actual fuck up. Platonic? You've seen the tweet she's made. She's talking about guzzling his Polish sausages cream publicly. April's talking about removing his wife from the picture publicly. You know, we all know you have because you've replied to some of that retarded shit. You're not some puppet master of the internet. You really are just a dipshit who did too much coke and was cocked by the toe. And Rekieta says,
Cocked by the
three
toe.
times, cocked by the toe.
What a
How
fucking
low
slogan.
can it go to be
What a
cocked by the
slogan.
toe? Oh, man. Then the last 3 times I saw were platonic. I don't know what else to tell you. What happened before then? Like, we just don't believe you. Because do you understand that things can be one way at one time and a different way at a different time? Buddy, like, just the pretentiousness and the condescending attitude, like, it's not helping your case, Rekieta. Not at all.
All right. He goes,
It sounds like you've had some space from April, and it's clear you're reflecting on the dynamics of your relationship or what it has become. Relationships evolve, and sometimes they transition into different forms or dissolve altogether. It's important to recognize what works. And then Rekieta goes, relationships involve people. They're complicated. Sometimes they're Teflon-coated steel. Other times they are rusting iron. So sometimes they're a husband and wife with 5 kids. And other times they're a dirty, filthy polycule where everybody's doing coke and wearing baldos. It's easy to speak in absolutes when talking theoretically. It's much harder when another real person is involved. Oh, man.
Jeez. Jesus Christ. He doesn't have to beg for forgiveness or anything. I just want to know why he hasn't been monogamous if he thinks the best thing you could do for your marriage. And he goes, sometimes people make choices, try things that don't work out. There are all kinds of reasons they might do this. Almost all the reasons aren't your business. Isn't that an admission?
Basically, yeah.
That's basically an admission right there.
That's him saying, listen, we tried the polycule.
It didn't work out.
Failed.
You know?
Here.
It didn't work out.
Nobody says. The thing is, it's now all public, so like it is everybody.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
I don't know. And if it's nobody's business, why are you even talking about it or addressing it? Just like do your show, talk about the law. Like, I don't know. He's just fixated on the drama, and so it's like a feedback loop. He keeps feeding the flames. He keeps spreading oil onto the flames, and then he wonders why the fire rises. And this guy goes, do you have the ability to disable April's newfound internet access through Spectrum? without her prior knowledge, permission, or involvement? He goes, I doubt it. Why would I want to do that? Well, obviously he would have that ability to do that since the property and the internet's in his name.
Mm-hmm.
And what's funny is she hasn't been tweeting for like.
Did he cut it off? Did he fucking
He might
unplug
have
the
cut off
router?
the internet.
He took an axe to the router fucking cord. All right. Do you want to keep smashing through?
Let's do a little bit more.
Okay.
Okay, so here are her last tweets.
Sure. All right.
So this is her talking about, you don't know about the guy who watches him pull his dick out and watches him pee a minimum of 4 times a week, or the girl who watches April pull her pants down or her skirt up, takes her hours to pee with that kind of pressure. Are you telling me she's having to sit there for hours? Like, what? And then April goes, I chose to submit to random drug tests so that I could maintain my caregiving role of the kids.
What?
So there's April saying that she's actively involved in a caregiving role for
Come
Rekieta's
on.
children. Even still, she says, I wasn't leaving them behind for any substance. I've never been ordered to test. I submitted because I love the kids. And then she says, you can't replicate Nick's dick. I don't care what kit you buy. The thing is, this is obviously not platonic.
And it's
Like,
the same
totally
tweet with
platonic.
kids and then the dick. Like in the same tweet. You couldn't separate the tweets. You couldn't separate the tweets about Nick's dick and his kids. Like, whoa, buddy. All right.
And then she says she hasn't ever used that term in her whole life. She's never called anyone her soulmate. She just calls it love when it's love. She's getting out of here for now because she has good intentions. I think it's because Rekieta told her to shut the fuck up. And I think that's the last tweet she made was back on November the 12th. So it's been like a full week with no April spiraling. So whether he pulled the plug on the internet or he threatened her to shut the fuck up and she listened, or maybe she finally came down off of the fucking meth she was smoking. Who knows what the reason is, but she's shut up. So
let's go.
Moving on from there.
All right. Baseball bat story.
Okay, so Rekieta has now confirmed that this story, which we showed on our show, is real.
Okay.
Which I doubted that this was real because it was so insane what he told us.
You could even
But
see
this
your
is-
face here. You're like, ah.
What?
So you and your attitude towards the kids, using it when it's convenient for you, when you're not, you know. But she goes, I've asked Nick to kill me so many times. It's like, well, then you guys all need to go get help because that's fucking insane.
She's asked Nick to kill her. Wow.
Oh, and then Nick does this motion 5 times a day when he's fighting with Kayla or he's frustrated about something.
How often does he hit himself
Oh, I thought that was you talking right
in
now.
the
Sorry.
head? Like
I thought that was you.
3 times. I saw it 3 times.
just 3 times.
Yeah.
That you saw.
So-
yeah.
Amazing.
So now Nick, then they start fighting again. April and I go upstairs. We're like, this is f***ing exhausting. I finally hear yelling again. I go downstairs. He has Kayla cornered in our half bathroom in the entry. You know how a house where you'll walk in and there will be a bathroom right away, just a toilet and a sink right away that people can go into? He's got her in one of those smaller bathrooms, and he's got her up against the corner of it, shouting at her. Now, I'm a big enough dude that I can handle a Nick Rekieta with one arm. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? I don't know what he's on. I don't know what the deal is here. So I go out into the garage and I get a baseball bat. I put it between the two of them. I push him aside and I go, get the f*** back. And he walks around the kitchen beating himself in the head. And then April looks at me and she goes, you didn't need to bring that baseball bat in, you know.
I'm nodding at past.
Like a
Worski.
6'2" man is standing over a 5'2" woman. She's crying. He's shouting at her in the bathroom. You're right. You know what? I should have broke fucking ribs with
You
it.
really
Jeez.
were the icon Sting, Aaron.
I was saying I wanted to play the music.
Aaron
Never
from the
mind.
rafters.
Even your tone there, you're like, yeah, totally,
But
that's
now-
true.
Now Rekieta admits that this happened. If I was him, I'd never respond to any of this shit other than it never happened.
Whoa.
But here he goes. Aaron threatened me with a baseball bat. He's told the story live. So just confirming that story is real. What was he thinking? What is he thinking? Now he immediately starts coping, and he goes, well, the problem, of course, is he got the details pretty wrong. But, like, how much wrong could it be? Because, like, you'd think the part that was wrong was him, like, pulling out the baseball bat and threatening to beat your ass. Like, bruh. The dirty, sordid details of the Rekieta crime family, they never cease to amaze. He actually admitted to all that. Okay, here's the locals, the 5K locals gift update, everyone.
All right. So he goes,
5K locals gift. They go, I'll settle for a t-shirt that says, I joined Rekieta's locals, and all I got was this dumb shirt. And he goes, well, I hope to have good news for you. You should sell the shirt. There's probably about 5,000 customers, which I don't even know what he meant by that. And the Raptor guy goes, so what you're saying is we're not getting anything.
Oh, shit. How about you release the body cam footage as the 5K gift before it's released to the public?
And I like he's like responding to these people like he comes down from Mount Baldo to battle with them.
Come on, that's funny.
Bro, it's so felted.
Oh, shit.
In what world do you live in that if you pay for something you are not entitled to get it? I believe they call that scamming.
Woo.
And Rekieta says, sorry, I've been dealing with some personal shit and I don't want to give out trash. I also know I'm bad at organizing. You don't say, buddy. So I was trying to partner with the company who could produce and ship up to 5,000 of these things so that it would get done. I'm sorry. I should really have just rethought the gift and made it cheaper, but I really wanted to send something nice instead. What Rekieta fails to realize, he didn't have to send anything at all. You know, but he promised something. And now he's fucked. And it like, whatever he sends will never live up to the hype of the 5K locals gift. But he should, at this point, should just send a fucking t-shirt or just send something. But I think he's too broke to honestly fulfill the 5,000 member locals.
What about like a documentary or something? You know, like an edited full like 3 hour.
Chat figured it out. It's 5,000 Baldos.
Okay.
The guy even ratioed Nick with 4. Like, that's brutal, bro. All right, then we just have, like, Rekieta battling people.
Okay, here we go. It's always a battle. And this is on locals, right? It's on locals.
He's battling with USS J4 Broly and Liquefied Mummy. And Liquefied Mummy, like, says his kids were dirty and stinky. They need a father, so I hope they get one via adoption when their dad is in pound me in the ass prison. I would never respond to that person. But Rekieta has no choice but to go, my kids were neither dirty nor stinky. It was pretty confusing for CPS. Like, by the way, Liquefied Mummy has more likes on his tweet than Rekieta does.
Whoa. That's
and then
dark.
He goes, right, everyone lies except you got it. And Rekieta says, shockingly, on this issue, a person lied. Yes. And that person, Rekieta, was you. Yes. 1 like he got. Okay, we saw that one.
Yep. Yeah, we saw that one already. Okay.
Oh, my God. You know, this guy just felt this. He's now answering to WTF Mel 333.
You know, the
Mel
the
certified
esteemed...
genius PhD. Now, he may have believed that he was talking with a real doctor here, but Rekieta, just because they have PhD in bio does not mean they really are a PhD.
Yeah.
And even if they were, it doesn't mean you have to answer to their criticism like this. But Mel certified genius PhD says, not really. She made the mistake of being a trad wife. She has no career or potential to support herself and her 5 children that her husband clearly doesn't want. Huge mistake. You run the risk of your husband moving his younger girlfriend into your house with your children. And Rekieta says, my children are and always have been the most important thing in my life, which is Oh, shit. It's a lie. The cocaine and the booze were a lot more important, bro. That's why your kids didn't have food or clean clothing.
All right, here we go.
And he had nothing to say about his wife there either. It was just about the kids because he knows that there's no way to make it look good. He did fuck his wife over. Jim Purfey. He is now answering to Jim Purfey, who I think has a bio picture of Jack Murphy there. I'm not sure. But he sat his kids down to explain to them how he was fucking the new nanny who he's been doing coke and K-holes with.
Ooh.
He created the environment to have his house battering rammed in and his children taken away. He's a shit father who prioritizes his own vices over his children. And he goes, no, I did not. What the fuck are you talking about? We're talking about the tweets where April says that you and her sat down. Like, let's go. I think it's the next tweet.
Okay. There we go.
If it wasn't for their dad and I telling the truth about love and sex to the two of us to those kids, they would have been left to read all of the lies and cheap filth
Jesus.
Scum put on the internet. So that's what we're talking about, Rekieta. You know, this is your side piece, your mistress, your slam pig whore, the home wrecker, April Anderson, saying that you and her sat the kids down and explained how you were banging her instead of their mom. Okay? Which is really bad. Really, really bad.
Okay. This guy goes,
this is so good. Go ahead.
He says, welcome to Lost-Splaining, the interwebs, where we designate the bedroom and explore sexuality with our partners. Do you still not get why everyone wants to watch this trash? No one wants to hear a 40-year-old burnout talking about his vapid, hedonistic lifestyle. Absurd. Weird. You can't stop talking about it. Like, come on, dude. He goes,
and then this guy's Nick is a shitty father whose house is in his father's name. Nick is pretty garbage. And Rekieta goes, my house is not. Imagine having to say this. Like, my house is not in my father's name. Just you having to say that makes me think that it is in your father's name because you're that defensive about it. This is coming from Dino75, whose profile picture appears to be a 12-year-old boy. You know, or like him when he's 12. And Rekieta's just arguing with this guy. Rekieta gets 1 like on his tweet. It's in a trust formed by my wife and I. You weirdos just assume it's in a trust that someone else made it. Well, yeah, that's what you
ratioed
assume,
again? Well, with comments.
Why would he create the trust for his own house? I don't even understand that. But
all right. We're pounding through. We swear we'll be there. Right,
you know what? Do we even cover this Spectre?
We could do this
Rekieta
next time
shit?
Or something, and then like
let's save that. I mean, honestly, like Spectre basically says that they would have to have retested Rekieta's kids.
Yes, we'll do it. We'll save it or whatever.